What is going on, guys? It is August TV, and in today's video, we are going to be going over what I think are important needs for the Green Bay Packers this offseason. We're going to kind of go over what their cap space, free agency, what they should do with the in-house free agents, what they should do outside free agency, and then kind of a look at what I think they should do for the draft. Not quite their full mock draft. That would be difficult to do because I don't want to pick all 250, 60 picks of the NFL draft. Just so. Yeah. Let's get started here. So like I said, we're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers. I'm a Packer fan, so this is kind of what I think should be looking for them, something they should be thinking about here now as they finally hired a head coach in Matt LaFleur. LaFleur. I'm going to have to learn that name in case I need to, in future videos, be pissed off at that guy. So, I hope I don't have to be. I hope you're not Mike McCarthy 2.0. First thing we're going to talk about is their potential cap. I don't know how accurate this is, but they say they could have about $41 million in cap space according to this one site. Again, I don't know how accurate it is. You have to think about with free agency and whatnot, in-house free agencies and whatnot. It says they currently have 49 players on contract. 155 of it is already spent, but I think I went and looked and I saw most of that is maybe Aaron Rodgers' contract. Well, average guarantee $19 million. Average per year $33.5. I can tell you he's got a better contract. He didn't get $84 million guaranteed like a certain Minnesota quarterback. But I mean, he's a pretty decent amount of that money. Then you gotta think how many rookies are currently on contract after this year's draft. Again, this number can fluctuate. I don't know how accurate that $41 million is, but if they have $41 million in cap, they should be ready to go into free agency and whatnot with it. And they also have to think you have to bring in 2 first-round draft picks and whatnot. Another thing I like to point out interesting here is the Colts apparently have $117 million for $149,480 to spend cap with a whole 53-man roster signed. What? How? Well, I guess your biggest contract is Andrew Luck. I don't know how many years ago he signed that, 2 years ago? I mean, I guess it's understandable. But we ain't talking about that. The Jets are understandable, Bills are understandable, Browns are still understandable. I mean, Raiders, you didn't pay Khalil Mack, Texans. Yeah, that's understandable. So, Packers will have, hopefully, some cap to play with this offseason. Now, let's take a look at their in-house free agencies. These are current players on the roster that the Packers have to think about bringing back. And let's take a look here. Some of the names here are going to be named fan favorites I don't think they should bring back. One of the first couple here we're going to talk about are Clay Matthews, Randall Cobb, Muhammad Wilkerson. We barely even saw any of him last year because he got hurt. Even when he was on the field, didn't really look effective. Mercedes Lewis, just Lance Kendricks. I wouldn't worry about bringing back Devon House. No one really there. I wouldn't really worry about Devon House. Pretty much those first guys on the list. Now let's take a look at other guys here that they should bring back. You should bring back Jake Ryan. Jake Ryan was pretty effective. he didn't get any snaps last year, so you can't really be like, okay, his 2018 season is a season and whatnot. You can't really base it on that. Another guy I should look at would be Geronimo Allison. Again, he was injured most of the season, didn't prove it. And another guy would be Jake Kumaro. If you can bring, I say, let's start with those 3 players back. And maybe a Reggie Gilbert. Get him on nice contracts. Maybe 2-year contracts. Low guaranteed, low salary guaranteed. You would be looking good because let's say they don't pan out. You can be thinking, hey, this isn't going to be dead money in a year because we have to cut them. It's something they should be thinking about. I feel like those 4 players right now on the list, maybe a Robert Tonyan, maybe a Kentrell Bryce, thinking about them too. Any of the guards I wouldn't bring back. Or this Fadlin Brown, I think he was just maybe a special teamer. Now, with that being said, we have to now look at their potential needs. And the first thing I would say the Packers really need would be secondary help. Let's start with possibly the safety position in general. Last year, you had Clinton Dix as a safety. You traded him away, I want to say before the Rams game, maybe been after the Rams game to Washington, and you got a draft pick from him. He has said he was in a contract year. You got a pick out of him, valuable. You got value out of him. He did say something about, hey, I'm not wanting to play in Green Bay anymore. And if you would give me this option, I won't take it and whatnot. He would have been gone anyways. With him gone, your 2 safeties were then, I believe, Kentrell Bryce, Josh Jones was playing one position. That position was all messed up all year long. And then you take a look at, actually, I'll tell you who their safeties were. Natural Jameson, Raven Green, just some names there who played that one safety position. The other safety was Tramon Williams once left. You needed to address it. That's a position you need to address. Tramon Williams, he played all right there. You need an upgrade. That other safety position, upgrade it, please. Josh Jones, what did he do in 2018? He played 13 games, 40 tackles. Oh, man. Nah. What did Aaron Rodgers do this year? 16 games, 4,442 passing yards. He had a pretty good touchdown interception. Only 49 times is... Okay, we'll go worry about that later. Now, if you can get one safety position, free agency, go and draft like a Deontay Thomas or any safety position that is need. I would say pretty. Oh, there's a draft thing here. I'm sorry about this. I'm looking at some things here. Alright, that's not important. Alright, let's go back here. What's what was I saying? You can get one in draft, and then you can get one in maybe free agency. You'd be set. Now I'm thinking of 2 names there in the safety position. One of them's Earl Thomas. I mean, he did get injured this year. He has been talking about he wants to get out of Seattle. He just doesn't feel like it's a really good for him anymore now that the Legion of Boom's gone. He's one person, depending on how quick he can back from injury, how ready he is to go, that'd be nice. Or maybe a Tyrann Mathieu. I don't know how he liked it in Houston. He was pretty much a cut, waiver, sign, boom, he's there, type of thing. That would be nice to have there. Get one of those, get a big name free safety, get a big name safety there. Think all the way back to 2006 or 2007 when they brought Charles Woodson in. The front office at the time was like, hey, we need to go get a big name player. They went and got a big name in Charles Woodson. He was a key player in your Super Bowl run in 2010. A Honey Badger or Earl Thomas could be a key player. Think about it. Now, what's like other secondary positions like cornerback? I mean, Jari Alexander, Kevin King, Josh Jackson, they're all young. Alright? If you can think about it, you can maybe bring in a veteran like a Jason Verrett, a Bradley Roby. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. I saw when I did some research here. Bring in a veteran presence and be able to be like, okay, we're good to go. We got some players here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Type of thing. Again, they probably will both resign with their former team. It's just a veteran's presence. Someone you can say, Jari Alexander starts one side, the other side you can put a Jason Verrett, a Bradley Roby, what was the other guy I saw? Ronald Darby. A corner on the other side. Then you can put like Kevin King in the slot. You can play him Josh Jackson in the nickel, or you can move one of those two maybe to safety, and you don't have to worry about a safety position quite yet. There's many things I can do there. You can go and hopefully get a corner there. Now, let's move on to another need I think they have. Offensive line. Oh, I have this. I probably should put this on the screen. Offensive line. David Bakhtiari is your best offensive lineman. Corey Linsley is your second best offensive lineman. Your guard positions are god-awful. You didn't have a steady guard position all year. Brian Bulaga hasn't been healthy much. It's time to get some new offensive linemen here. A big name I saw was maybe a Juwan James from Miami. If you can get him in, and so you're not worried about Bulaga's contract, move him to guard. Sir, you've filled a couple of positions right there. I think if you can go and bring in a right tackle, nice right tackle, you don't have to worry about cutting Bulaga. You just move Bulaga to guard. You fill a couple of needs, and then you can think about maybe at the draft addressing a guard position, because you still have like guards you need to worry about. That's my opinion. I feel like offensive line's a really big need. Now, these next three positions aren't really in any particular order, but I feel like there's still needs. Wide receivers one. You think about it, Devontae Adams was your big go-to receiver last year. Randall Cobb's hurt. I wouldn't bring Randall Cobb back. Geronimo Allison got hurt. I would bring him back. Jake Kumerow was hurt all year. You're relying on Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who was up and down all year. You're relying on Equanimeous St. Brown. There wasn't... Jamon Moore got a little bit of action that you take a look at. Trevor Davis was involved in the receiving core. And outside Devontae Adams was I mean, look at Adams' season. He played only 15 games. He didn't play all 16. Had 111 receptions for 1,386 receiving yards. 13 touchdowns. Damn. I don't know what you say your two receiver was then. Cobb only had 38 receptions. Terrible. Valdes-Scantling had 38 receptions for 581. Only 2 touchdowns. Equanimeous St. Brown, 21 receptions, and he was just receivers in need. And we'll talk about this more when we go and talk about their draft and what I think they could do with the draft, in my opinion. Next is linebacker. I mean, Nick Perry is getting up in age. And I mean, if you go by what I'm doing, you're not bringing back Clay Matthews. I mean, you do have Fackrell, Ryan, Martinez. You do have to worry about those 3 contracts. They'll be up here soon. Get a linebacker. And I heard of a name, maybe like Jadeveon Clowney. I saw that name. He's a potential free agent this year. I doubt it, though. I don't know. I'll go back on this receiver thing. And the last thing on defensive lineman, I mean, Kenny Clark, he's your future. One end, you have Mike Daniels. The other end, I mean, who knows? Is it Dean Lowry? Is it... I mean, I don't even know who else plays DN for Green Bay. Yeah, let's like here 3-4 DN. Montravius Adams. I don't think you have a DN there right now on roster. But here's something I would like to throw that would be nice. If you want to address receiver, there's just happened to be a receiver who is currently not liking their situation. I mean, you can take that pick you have from the Saints and maybe like a young corner you don't have any future plans with, maybe like a Josh Jackson or something, and maybe another player, and send them to Pittsburgh for Antonio Brown. Just maybe. That would be a huge need, and then you pair him up with Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers would have a field day. But let's be honest, he's probably going to go to San Fran for maybe their first, which is like number 2 in the draft. And maybe like a Nick Mullins, a CJ Beathard, or maybe a Solomon Thomas or something. Plus another player probably be named later. You never know. I'm just saying that there could be you think about potential name in the receiving core that you can go and trade for. Unless they cut him. That'd be nice. I'd like to know what his cutting rate would be. I'm really interested in what it would be to cut him. You never know. He's been causing so much issues for the Steelers this offseason. You just never know. But that's it with needs. Let's go on to the final thing we're going to talk about. Their draft picks. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them. First one's coming at pick 12. Next one's coming between probably pick 30. I probably should edit that. That was supposed to be 32. Because the Saints are still in playoff contention there. Jeez, all gas TV. Get your numbers right. They have picks 12, picks between 29 and 32, picks, I do believe, 44 in the second round, picks 76 in the third round, and every pick after that, I don't know. They have their fourth round pick. They have a fourth round pick from Washington they got for trading Clinton Dix. They got a fifth round pick, their sixth round pick, Seattle's sixth round pick from trading Huntley away, and their seventh round pick. There could be even more picks thrown in here. You have to think about the I was just gonna say it. It was right there. Contemporary picks or whatever it's called. There could be more picks thrown in here. But I can do a first round mock draft here a couple times here. It's gonna be on the channel at some point. I just really have to sit down and look at the draft right now and see what could be actually done here. I mean, Arizona's got their first pick, and there's already been rumors that it could become Kyler Murray. Bruh. No. Yeah. Here's what I'd like to see here. And in my honest opinion, at pick 12, if there isn't a safety or a lineman worth drafting, go best player available. Not a quarterback. Don't take a quarterback, because there's no quarterbacks in this year's class I'd really take in the first round. So I'm saying if there's like a receiver there, take the receiver. If I'm saying you think there's a good D lineman, take a D lineman. This D lineman class is stacked. Maybe a linebacker. Maybe Devin White falls to us. That'd be nice. I don't know who. I really have to do some research now, because I should probably have my first mock draft out here with a couple weeks. There's so much to go into this year on who I think the Packers should take at 12. And then you go down to who Saints pick. And that's when you start addressing offensive line or safety. I mean, at that point, because you're in the first round and you get that 4-year contract plus that 5th-year player team option you have there. You think about that, that's where I would guarantee you take it. And I mean, you never know, a safety can drop, or there could be a safety you have on your board, but you thought would be taken and he fell. That's what I would do at 29. In the second round, I would address offensive line, or maybe that's a position you can draft receiver. Maybe you get a line at 12. Pick 30. I'm gonna go with 30. You take a safety. I would go receiver, pick 44. On another offensive lineman, pick 76. I would use those 2 4th-round picks defensively. Go back offensively in the 5th round. Use one of those 6th-round picks offensively, another one defensively. Maybe that 7th you think about taking a kicker. Mason Crosby had in his season. And yeah. Or another thing you could think about here. This is an interesting thing. That Saints pick, you could trade out of the first round with that pick. Hopefully, maybe get an early second. Maybe you have a team like trying to think of the draft order. It goes Arizona, San Fran, Oakland, Jacksonville, maybe. Maybe there's a team, maybe like New York, who didn't take a quarterback at 6, but they want to trade up to get a quarterback. Take it and hope they throw in a first-round pick in that trade. Then you're getting another future first. One of the draft class for quarterbacks is even better. Maybe like a Tua Tagovailoa Justin Herbert or Jake Fromm. I mean, yeah, there's this. This is a whole dream scenario right now. I'm just going through for this draft, but it's very important you come hit this draft, and you start thinking about what teams did last year. Like the Colts, they took an offensive lineman first round. People were like, why? They made the playoffs. Quentin Nelson was the best rookie offensive lineman, in my opinion. You take a look at Offensive Rookie of the Year, you could put him up there in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting, behind Saquon, behind Baker, behind maybe Lamar Jackson. You can put him up there. I would say in the top 3, 4 area. If you can hit on an offensive lineman, you can hit on a safety. You can find a potential, maybe a 3 receiver. You can find a O-line depth. You can find secondary depth, line depth. This is a draft you should start making those pieces fall into place. LaFleur, I don't have early playoff implications. If you don't make it this year, it's fine. You take this year, you work those pieces. Maybe you get middle, maybe that Vikings record, 9-7, 10-6 record, miss the playoffs, or you make the playoffs. And then you go into next year ready to go free agency draft and whatnot. Oh, and another thing I forgot to talk about. Le'Veon Bell's on the market. If he's asking for a lot of money, don't give it to him. I know it was kind of all over the place here in this video, but to me, this is an important offseason for the Packers, especially with a new head coach, and they need to do it right. Yeah, that will be it for me today. If you want a little bit more in depth video, I'll give you one, because I don't know how much more in depth I can go. I rambled on for almost a half an hour. Just, show it by leaving a like, subscribing, comment down in the comment section. This is NFL is so what I know. I would say mostly what I know, and it's really there for me. So yeah, that's it for me. Also, if you want me to do another one of these, like let's say you want me to talk about the Vikings' shitty situation, I'll think about it. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, afternoon. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.